Hi word nerds. So this week I'm doing a video on the passage we're reading and focusing on called Yao Bai and the Egg Pirates. So it's not a picture book. I apologize in advance if my phone rings while we're doing it. You guys know my watch broke and I'm waiting on a text message. So we'll see. Hopefully I can finish this before I get a message. But the sentence says, Yao's father spoke grimly as he inspected the sail. We notice at the end there is a period, so that means it's either a regular statement or a command. So it's either going to be declarative, which is the regular statement, or it could be a command, which is called an imperative. But nobody's commanding anybody to do anything here, so it's going to be declarative. And as always, we're going to wait on that sentence structure. Declarative. Deciding whether or not it's simple, complex, or compound until after we figure out the subject and the predicate and all that part, all the parts of speech. So let's look for people, places, or things. So Yao. Okay, well, Yao is a person, right? So that's going to be a noun, but it's a specific name, so it's a proper noun. We've got something else that's a little interesting about this. It's that apostrophe S. We talked about this earlier in the year. So it's not only a proper, but it's also a something else kind of noun too. So if we look at that, it's either going to be a contraction or the other thing, which is called a possessive noun. So let's see what the next word is. It says Yao's father. So either the father belongs to Yao, or it says Yao is father. Yao is father spoke grimly? No, that does not work. So it's not combining the word Yao and is. It's showing that the father belongs to Yao. So that's called a possessive. It's a possession. Possessive noun. So it's proper and possessive, in my opinion. Okay, Yao's father. Father is a person, so that's going to be a noun. Spoke grimly as he inspected the sail. Sail is a thing. That is also a noun. All right, so let's look for actions. Spoke. Okay, well, that's an action somebody can do. And it is past tense. It's not speaking or is going to speak. It says spoke. So that's past tense verb. It already happened. Grimly as he inspected. Inspected is another action that you can do. It's an ED. You see that right here? So it's going to also be a past tense verb. Alright, so the words we have left are grimly, as, he, and the. We know the is an article. A and the are articles. The word grimly, that's kind of a descriptive word, right? But one thing that we should pay attention to is whether or not that word describes a noun or if it's describing another part of speech. So the grimly is how he's speaking. Speaking is not a noun, so this is not an adjective. Also, that ly right here also could be a warning sign. It's like a symbol like, oh, pay attention here. Because often if a word ends in ly, it's very common for that to be what's called an adverb. And an adverb is a describing word, but it's for a verb or another part of speech. Well, grimly does describe speaking, so grimly is an adverb. All right, and then we have as and he. We know he is replacing the father, so that is replacing a noun, so it's called a pronoun. And then the word as, okay, that's kind of the catch here. As is conjoining this part of the sentence with this part of the sentence. So we're going to call that a conjunction. I had to write that very small, but it's a conjunction. So what's the predicate? What's the action that's being done? It's spoke and inspected. Who's doing the speaking? Not Yao, right? It's actually the father. So the one speaking is father. And father also did the inspecting. So Yao's father, I'm going to say, let's just use the word father. And then he spoke. And he also inspected. Means you look at something. You see the root spec? Sorry, I smushed it in there. If you want to, you can put it underneath. All right, so we have two predicates. We have a conjunction. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cover everything up to the conjunction. Look at this. It says, Yao's father spoke grimly. Okay, so that's showing a, sorry, my brain just stopped. It's showing a subject and a predicate. Okay, let's look at the other one. It says, he inspected the sail. Well, he inspected the sail could be by itself too, so they don't depend on each other. They're actually both independent. I could say this by itself, and I could say that by itself. It just happens to be that the as combines everything all together. So we're going to call this a compound sentence. It doesn't use and like we're used to, but I think it's compound. All right, less than 6 minutes. Have a great day.